back to GT4. Before doing the professional events, I decided to do all the leftover easy special condition events that I left. Most of it was pretty easy. Chamonix was hell. Even though I had the tuned Lancia, I just couldn't keep up on the snow because I fucking suck at snow racing. Also, my controller just didn't want to shift. At all. I rebind the button and that kind of fixed itself. And even though I try to catch up, I kinda just suck at snow driving anyway, so it didn't matter, all the effort didn't matter. I lost by 4 attempts. So I tried again. Spun again. I got the lead back on the road and could stretch my legs a little, but again on the snow, I'm just terrible. I'm just terrible. And get a penalty because of course I do. I tried to lunge for the lead, but again I get a penalty. And just give up. I tried again, and finally I could just win, barely winning it. Two seconds were not enough for this difference of performance. The rest was pretty easy. Really, really easy. If you wonder about prize cars, all of them were shit. All of them, including this one. So I decided to tackle the Boxer Spirit event, and immediately backed down because of the point difference.
Yeah, I could tune it up a little bit.
I bought a racing chip, race exhaust, and sport tires.
Yeah, that's better.
And it was down to a more manageable level.
Oh, fuck.
8 and 3 tenths behind the leader in the end of the first lap. I cut down the lead 4
You're way better than the first
and
lap.
seem to be managing it. Until I just did this.
Oh, fuck. Now we're doing
And this.
piece of shit.
Despite all that, I was keeping up with the leader. Then I brake way too deep. And by the 4th lap, I was 2 seconds behind. Still manageable. I would go down hunting for second in first place, but again, my driving was really bad. I was really, really calm playing this
Probably
game.
not enough. Stop fucking turning!
For some reason, like when you brake, the car just wants to spin. Like a lot of cars do this in this game. Again, I was keeping up, go for this really nice and really clean overtake. But then completely botched the next corner. It was way better this time, but for some reason I drive to the right and hit the pit wall. I finally decided to do the thing that I should have done and save state at the start of the race, instead of watching the same animation over and over again. With 6 seconds behind the timer of the 3rd lap, and just blew the corner. So I decided to restart. Again blew the corner, so I decided to restart again. Imagine actually playing this game on console. It should have been hell. And then restart again. We're really deep in the corner. I still managed to overtake the red Subaru. I barged my way in. I was keeping up this time. Overtook the other Subaru in the straight. And now was the leader. It was the leader who was left. It wasn't behind, pretty hard. This Subaru is actually a menace. You will see why. Even though I win with a pretty sizable margin in this race. Infineon Raceway was pretty easy too. The AI really doesn't seem to like this track. You brake way too early for some reason in some corners, or like brake when you don't need to brake at all. By the middle of the lap 1, on the double right-hander, I overtake the Subaru. And by the end of lap 3, I had a really big lead. The Forest Raceway was pretty easy too. I mean, until I did this. Just went way too hard on the corner and spun. Drove like shit the next time.
Why this car starts fucking turning when I brake?
And spun. On the next try was pretty easy. I was in the contention for the lead on the first lap. And after that, I didn't look back. And for all that, I get the Honda NSX was not the one, because the one was 95, but the Honda NSX. Next, I tried the Touring Car Championship, and for some reason, I thought my Minis car was enough, but it wasn't. I still need to upgrade it or get a better car for this championship.
That is not enough.
Then I wait to rally homologation heroes. El Capitan seemed pretty easy. I got the lead pretty early, pretty much at the 4th or 5th corner. In the end of lap 2, I had somebody on my back breathing really heavy. And it was the WRX Subaru car that I spoke about earlier. He overtook me on the straight. He simply couldn't keep up. I try again. Have a 1.5 second lead, which is not very much considering it's just a 40-point race. I turned pretty bad at the second and third turns. But kept up pretty well on the whole lap. But the Subaru also kept up pretty well. I fuck up the last corner, or the penultimate corner, to be more precise. The Subaru rolls by. I try again. This time I have a way bigger lead than before, but the Subaru outperformed me on the straight, so I couldn't be racing easy. And it actually was pretty easy though, even though the lead was cut. Seattle was next. This track really helped the Subaru because there's a lot of straights. Even though I got in second pretty early, the Subaru simply had way more pace than me. I did this really nice overtake of the white Mitsubishi Lancer and really blow the next corners. I give up and go for racing chip and sports tires and a weight reduction. And try again, hoping that it was enough to tame the beast that the Subaru WRX is. On the uphill, I got on first and seemed to build a nice cushion of 3 seconds. But then I go way too hot and bang the barrier, losing all that time. And by the start of the third lap, the lead. But I keep up and get on the sail pretty quickly. Overtake on the end of the uphill and managed to win with an okay margin but probably should have been more. Tsukuba was pretty easy though. I get a Vitz, and it's not pink. But actually the Vitz was pretty good because I could do the World Compact Championship without tuning too much a smaller car. The Fit Panda that I had probably. But still before the race I decided to give a racing exhaust and a racing chip. Keep an eye on this Peugeot. It's really the only competition we have.
Actually,
57 points seems pretty easy. But even though all the other competition were champs, the Peugeot had a pretty good lead. And even though I pretty much could only be level with him. But again, he had a pretty good lead for being first. So I finished in second. And then remember, I can qualify. I do so in Tsukuba with a pretty meager half a second difference. And dominate the race pretty well. Until the second place, which is surprisingly not the Peugeot, but instead the Mercedes. But I keep up on the inside and manage to win by 0.2 of a second. Grand Valley was next. And again, I probably could have just bought sport tires and had my lead be way better because of the corners. Because this car really needs some good tires, but I don't know, 6,000 seemed too much. I qualified with 3.5 seconds of lead, and everything seems to be going well. Until I fuck up the first corner. And fuck up the second corner. The Peugeot is on my back. Then I money shift pretty badly and lose the lead. But I keep up. I clearly had advantage, especially because of the long straight. Money shift again. But keep up with it and actually cut down the lead. I overtake him on the third lap and managed to win comfortably. Hong Kong was next and again qualified to get on first. Do a pretty terrible first and second corner. And an even worse third, and get overtaken. I barged my way through and get the lead back. But on the boardwalk, I fuck up the corner. Brake way too early and way too much, and lose the lead. I get it back on the first turn. Completely pin it close to the boardwalk and in the boardwalk as well. I lose the lead for good this time. It beat it way more and more. I end up in second, almost losing my place to the Mercedes. And losing by 8 seconds. Motegi was next, again qualifying pole. And actually it was pretty easy. It was just enough to win the championship. I get an Audi GT4. I decided to go for the race of Turbo Sport with the XJ220. It was pretty easy. And I get for it an old Nissan Silvia. So far the randomizer is not giving me any luck, besides the JTCC NSX. I tried next the Clubman Cup with this boat of a car. It is just awful to drive. I later look and it weighs 2 tons, so it pretty much shows. Like, even though it has 600 horsepower, it just slugs through the field. But again, it has 600 horsepower, so 80 straight just blows by anything. But in the curve are just dreadful. And I did all the 5 races with it. For my torture session, I get a Ford Taurus, the ugly one. Next I go for the Supercar Festival. But that was the part that I stalled on my original playthrough. So I decided to pimp out my XJ220 so I can blow by the competition. Including buying racing tires, which I can't fucking use. It was 30 grand of wasted money. So I go for it. In So Central, I just hate this track so much. The reverse layout is actually okay, but the main layout is just terrible. It almost seems like this is a reverse layout. I obviously have the speed advantage, but the cars are way too spread out, so I actually need to catch up to the leaders. And I just hate this track. I just hate this corner so much. It makes no sense in this direction. And it makes a lot of sense in the reverse direction, but again, I don't know why this track is like this. I need to brake on the board between the 100 and 200 boards. And this is what happens when you don't brake. When you don't brake on the right spot, you just murder everyone in the track with your mean machine. I forget to brake and just slam through the wall. On lap 6, I managed to catch up after fucking up. But again, forget to brake and slammed in the wall. So I try again. This time get way closer to the leaders in the first lap. I'm second by the second lap. And already catching up. I actually rammed the leader. And even the AI can do this track right. It shows how terrible it is. Even the AI can drive it. I managed to get in first, but I just eat too much curb and slam into the pit wall. The car takes a century to start running. And I just drive terribly on the 7th lap. And get pushed by the car behind until I spin. And this car just takes way too much to start, so the Volkswagen passes by me. I ram him, but it doesn't seem like a good idea to have done that. It gives the other car, the red car, an advantage though. At least I destroyed the Volkswagen's race too. But by the end of the 8th lap, I knew I had blown my opportunity. Well, the third time was pretty easy. I was almost lapping the 6th position car. Get the gearing to be longer because this racing transmission really makes it way too short. Fuji is next, and this time it's a 2-point race instead of a 1. And I realized that this car is a boat. While it's actually pretty good on really slow corners and like hairpins and stuff, it's just terrible on anything that the car flows by. In fast corners, you just need to lift. You just need to lift on fast corners. I fuck up on T3. But still managed to keep up with the leaders, and the long straight really helps my car. But again, this car is a boat. It does not want to turn on anything more than 30 kilometers per hour. So I tried to turn the suspension, but realized I don't know how to turn the suspension. So I try again with the fucked up suspension. I actually go way better this time, but still the car doesn't want to turn. I need to slow down way too much on all the corners of this track besides the first one. But again, I have the straight to help me. I break the 200 board, which is just enough. And actually catch up with the Pagani's Honda. Within the lap 6, I was way ahead. And get a overall pretty easy win. New York was next, and actually is like the best track for this car. You just need to hit the braking zones well, and like the rest of the car actually drives pretty well because it's all tight corners. I don't hit the braking zones, but still win pretty easily. Midfield is next. And this track is pretty tricky because even though it has a long straight, it also has a lot of flowing corners, which this car just does not like. And this car also launches like shit. But who needs a good launch when you have like double the horsepower of your opponents? I'd fuck up the penultimate turn. But still I have the straight to help me. But I don't brake and watch my car fly into the Volkswagen. Brake way too late and end up on the grass. For some reason I thought somebody was calling my name, so I paused a lot in this race. I was 7 seconds from the leader. I had to slug my way through the fast flowing corners. And I obviously fuck up. But on the straights, I have the advantage. I pass 4th, 3rd, and 2nd to start to hunt down for the lead. And I catch up pretty easily. But I fuck up one corner and just end up spinning. And I know there's not enough time. But I give up after that. Try again. The field is less spread out this time, and I catch up to 5th pretty quickly. And look how just terribly this car handles these turns. You just can't accelerate on the exit of the corners. Just really had to be gentle with the throttle. I brake terribly out of the tunnel the second lap. Go back to 5th. But again, with my speed, I could catch up pretty easily still. And by lap 5, I was tailing the leader, a Ford GT, which is my favorite car actually, especially in red and white. It's just amazing, like it looks like this, like 64. It just blows my mind. Anyway, I used my superior speed to get really close to the leader, but drive carefully because the GT4 AI is just treacherous. They don't care where you are. Drift my way through this corner and have the long straight to get in first. Actually opened up a pretty decent gap because of the straight. Fuck up the corner after the tunnel, but I'm still in first. Fuck up the corner after the other tunnel and lose the position. I blow the penultimate corner, but still, my straight line speed advantage carries me to the win. Very nice. Infinity is next, and holy shit, I fucking hate this car on this track. It was just a miserable experience. But I had to brake for pretty much everything because of this car. The only part that this car felt good was in the double right-hander on the middle and the end of the track. Was blowing us on first lap, so we restarted anyway. Getting 4th, get by 3rd and 2nd pretty easily on the braking zone, even though I brake way earlier than them and was hunting down the leader. On the worst possible part of the circuit, the fast flowing corners. By the end of the first lap, I get the lead. I can break out a good cushion because I just can't fucking turn on this car. It's just miserable. Every corner is just miserable in this. on the third lap, I just blow the car. I just fuck up and get on the tire wall. So I restart. But the second lap, I was a tad bit behind the leader, but still knew that I could gain on the long straights, on the middle of the track. But I just fuck up on the end of the third lap. You get way too deep, losing a lot of the advantage I got pretty frustrated and shoved the leader out of the racetrack. But again, since I cannot fucking turn on this car, I didn't open up a big lead after that. You lose the lead immediately after getting shoved. On the best part of the course for this car, I get in first again. But get a lot of pressure, get pushed by the Mercedes. And it shows me off the track. Again, the AI does not give a fuck where you are in the track. I dip the wheels in the sand and give up. I try again. Again, get the lead on the end of the first lap. And again, I can't open up a lead because this car does not turn. On the end of the third lap, you're pretty frustrated with the car shoving me to the tire wall. So I try to shove him back and get immediate karma. So I try again. I never fought so hard for 3 points on this game. Got on the lead by the second lap this time. But by the fourth lap, it was pretty close, and I fuck up on the exit of the corner. Try to shove him, but he just takes the corner way better, actually. I'm driving really, really clean this time. But after getting my lead back on this fourth lap, I finally get a win with a pretty decisive margin too. And the car actually drove better with worn out tires for some reason. And I get another Audi Coupe Quattro. And here's the reason why this was a terrible idea to blow all that money on the championship. I wouldn't need 25,000 credits after all the wins from that championship from the Supercar Festival. And I could get the RX-7 LM race car. But no, I really had to pimp out my car to win the Supercar Festival.